Welcome to Justified Riches podcast. Justified Riches is a financial literacy podcast dedicated to empowering individuals with the knowledge and tools to achieve financial independence and professional success. Each episode bridges the gap between ambition and achievement by bringing together a seasoned mentor and an eager mentee for transformative conversations.
Frederick Douglass once said, "It's easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men." And our mission here at Justified Riches is to create a stronger generation of youth through financial literacy.
I'm your host, Rich Tavarez, aka Positivity Pusher.
And I'm your other host, Justin, aka Stock Knock Life.
And together we hope that you enjoy the show, take notes, and sit down and relax.
Enjoy the episode. All right, welcome to another episode of Justified Riches. And we're here today. We have a very special guest. All right, we have Latisha Lesane. All right, she is CEO of Living in Color Services, New York-based therapist, and also she's a guidance counselor. What I like about you, Latisha, I've known you for a little bit, couple years, 10, 15, I don't know. But anytime I go to her office, there's about 10, 12, 13 kids. You know, she's consistently working with these young men, making sure that they get into the right college or, right, they're ready for post-secondary life, you know. So I'm really excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
I know it's been a minute as far as we were supposed to have you on the show a couple of times. Stuff didn't work out, but finally we have you here. And today we're going to be talking about, I know here at Justified Riches we usually talk about money, but you can't get your money right if your mental is not correct.
Absolutely.
So you being a therapist, we're going to lean on you today. So just to kick us off, what made you get into being a therapist?
Yeah, definitely. So one, thank you guys for having me. It's finally happening. And so my ideas, my want to be in this was based on my experiences, right? For two things, right? So one, my work as a guidance counselor was stemmed from my own experiences in high school, wasn't good. And so I was like, hey, this is a need actually. And so it's something I was interested in. I worked at community organizations when I was in high school, and so I saw the need in my community specifically, and so that made me pursue school counseling. Along with that, my program that I was in was a dual program, and so they offered the opportunity for mental health. Originally, that's what I wanted, but the program didn't have it. They didn't have enough people to fill the seats of the program, and so after I did my master's in counseling, it opened up. And so I had the opportunity to do mental health at the same time. But both of those fields, both of those pathways were stemmed from my experiences growing up in my community. Not one, seeing people that looked like me that was able to support me, not feeling like the counselor that I had in high school was someone I felt like I could talk to or that she even had my best interest, right? And then when it comes to the mental health component, another thing, my community, watching people be afraid to ask for help, right? Or if you did ask for help, you weren't really being transparent with the person that you were seeking help from, whether it was a mental health therapist or a physician, because they didn't look like you.
Right. So I know usually...
Oh, no, just resonating now. I was
Okay.
wow, yeah. Thank you.
What made you go and start Living in Color Services?
Yeah, so I started off obviously as an intern, and so I did my intern actually under one of your previous guests,
Yes, we found
Don
that out.
Sinkville.
Oh, so crazy.
Love
Shout
him
out,
to
Don.
death. Shout out to Don. He helped so many of us. And so not only did I intern underneath him, but he also poured into me, right? And he made it feel possible, like it was attainable to do, right? And so it's great that you can be able to work under someone, but for me, being able to have my own and create a legacy, not only for myself, but for my daughters, for them to see hey, you can do this, right? And be the one that's taking the charge to see the change I want in my communities. And so the need was there, one, for the community, my family and what I want my daughters to be able to see and know that they can do it. But also for me, right now I'm in a position where I can see change. I could be a part of it. I could be a part of conversations, right? But I could also be the one that's providing the service.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the legacy part because Don, Don's a friend, and Don was somewhere where we had this conversation with him, and it was awesome. And one of the things that I've learned from my mentors, like Bert Lurch, shout out Bert Lurch, is, and you cover it, and I almost say like every episode, Marion Wright Edelman, you cannot be what you cannot see. And it's so powerful. And I didn't even realize, fun fact, that BIPOC, Black Indigenous People of Color, July is Black Indigenous People of Color Mental Health Month.
We're learning something new.
From me too. I didn't know what though, and this is something you could speak on. And I love the name of your organization as well, because so much is culture, so much is our own experiences, so much is like what we talk about too with the money situation, that a lot of decisions are either consciously or subconsciously being made, right? Like it's like, dang, could almost seem unfair, if you didn't know the game. One of the things is I've learned as a banker, I've had the opportunity to work in all kinds of communities of color, affluent communities, had the opportunity to work there during the Paycheck Protection Program too. And one of the troubling things in, I would say, communities of color, myself growing up in one, and even family, is this stigma with mental health, right? Like we'll Instagram physical fitness, we will go crazy on our biceps. And for people of color, we think like mental health is a cop-out, where in affluent communities, and I've learned, speaking from experience, it's a normal thing. And that's kind of what opened it up to me. I was like almost scared to tell people like, oh, I'm speaking to a therapist. And then you speak to people of, not only affluent, but from my experience, like, and it's a normal thing. It's like, better get that self checked out. So please, that was a lot. Thank you.
No, definitely. I think yes, you hit it right on the nail. So in our communities, it is looked at as like an afterthought. Right? We don't think of it before, right? We think of it as stigma or something has to be wrong, right? When it's the complete opposite. It's a part of our maintenance, right? Like it is a part. I think I saw a big kick in it during COVID when people had to be home and sit with themselves, and they didn't really have the opportunity to be social and be out and moving and like disregarding their feelings or their thoughts or things that they had kind of pushed off to the side. Right. And so there was a big uptake when people had to sit with self. And so then people kind of got a different perspective on what therapy looked like. Right. The conversation around it changed. It became more of like an outlet, someone I can talk to. Right. I think also when people in our communities think of therapy, they think of like something is wrong. I'm sick. And it really is not. Doing that preventative work impacts you moving forward in all your decision making. And really is just having an outlet. But for so long, the conversations around it seem so clinical also, right? I think most people, when they think of going to a therapist, they think about the couch, right? I remember when I first started, clients were like, oh, you got the couch. And I'm like, well, you can sit on a chair, but it was this idea about going to a therapist, laying on a couch, and that's what it looked like. And they got a clipboard and they're writing things. It really is just conversation, right? It is just your place to kind of like talk through different things. And it doesn't have to mean that's something that's happening. It can be like you just want a space to talk. But definitely COVID brought that out. Particularly in our communities, I saw a rise in people reaching out for help, asking more questions. Like, what does the session actually look like? Like, what you gonna ask me? Like, whatever you want to talk about. Whatever comes up for you is what we're processing.
People are scared of the couch, man. Yo. That couch is no joke. You feel different on the couch. It's like someone standing up and talking to you.
Yo, bro. And now it's even more because now it's like through Zoom and sometimes, and I'm trying to like see the therapist, right? Zoom is very convenient and it's very good. But I gotta say, it's unnerving. And I will say I might hold back a little bit if it's like, it's being recorded and but it's a different environment. But it's still helpful. Right, via virtual, anything else, however you can get there, like get someone that you can speak to, right?
Get someone you can speak to. Get in a space where you have a relation or you build a relationship with people. I think that's the other part of it, right? Being able to connect with people. That is one of the luxuries we are afforded now, right? If you don't like your therapist, get a new one. Look online, right? Just as much as they have to build, they're there to serve you. You want to make sure that they're the right fit for you. And so when you have your consultation, come with questions. Ask them questions, right? You are interviewing your therapist. You don't have to stay with the one that you have. Or sometimes you outgrow them. That's a thing too, right? One therapist was good in one season. Next season may require a different level of work.
We know that, and that's a good point you make. We know that a lot of people, like, they'll sit with trauma for 15, 20, 25 years. Now they're our age, 45 years old, and they say to themselves, you know what? I need help, What are some ways we could start identifying this stuff at a younger age, start addressing some of these issues that, people may have during childhood?
Yeah, good question. So I think, sometimes, so there's two ideas I have around trauma, right? Sometimes you hear people and then everything becomes trauma. Everything was traumatic, right? It's kind of like this all or nothing way of thinking about it, right? Yeah. And then there are people who actually experience things that continue to show up in their life now, right? And so when I talk to clients, when I talk to young people in the school setting, it's like trying to sit with how is that impacting you now? Because not every experience we have is going to impact us in a negative way. Some of what we experience may be helpful for who we are, who we want to see ourselves becoming. And so one is maybe taking some time to think about, right? Like if I'm saying like this was traumatic and this is really impacting me, how is it showing up today? Mm. How is it impacting me now in the here and now, right? Because I think for me that allows for the client or an individual, anyone to be able to see where I want to be, right? I know what it's doing to me, right? But now it gives me a little bit of light to be able to understand like, okay, I don't like how it's impacting me like this, where I'm at with it now. I want to be over here with it. Okay. Right. So maybe identifying first, like how it's impacting me now.
Right. So is this trauma really affecting me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How it's showing up. Right.
I know we've had conversations. I think I mentioned it to Don too. Like I'm pro. Men don't really need therapy. I'm one of those guys.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, let's get into this conversation.
Good, we still have time. So it's good.
I'm kind of like, I think that's us. Like our superpowers actually, I feel like is dealing with trauma, and processing it, kind of understanding it, and getting through it. I kind of understand there's certain things that may have happened to you at a young age that need to be addressed, and you need therapy. But I feel like, if you really feel yourself on the inside, it's like, I can deal with this, So I'm kind of not saying men don't need therapy, but I don't think they need it as much. They just need more guidance.
Yeah. And so where should that guidance come from?
Was like, that's a good question. So...
Right, and spiritual or secular guidance, right?
Yeah,
your guidance will come from like a mentor.
Okay.
So sometimes that could be in the home, especially for young men. If you have a father who was emotionally and mentally stable and was able to pass down that skill to you, kind of teach you certain things, or if it wasn't in the household, then some type of they have certain mentor programs where those big brother programs where you kind of lean into them to try to reach adulthood, teach you how to be a man.
Yeah.
You're itching to say something. I see it.
I'm itching because, we've had this conversation, right? We've talked about this. And so I'll thread lightly on the need, right? Mm-hmm. But I think sometimes it can be helpful for men to have a space, whether it's a therapist or some sort of communal space that they can commune with other men, other people, and kind of talk through things, right? I think that for a long time, there's been this idea that men can bear it all, right? And sometimes physically it looks like they can bear it all, but I think that men are people too.
Right.
And so just how women experience things and they kind of try to move and weave and navigate through it, men do the same, right? But there's almost this expectation that men have to do it. I don't believe that's true. I think eventually everyone has a breaking point. And so maybe they don't need therapy, but I think men need a space to be able to talk through things, right? And it doesn't have to be a problem. It could be day-to-day things, just having a space outside of being responsible, without a space where they're not having to show up for other people, just talk.
Right.
Whether it's a leisure activity, a barbershop, right? That's a common place, or just anything, just having someone.
Couple beers with the buddies.
Couple of beers. But what tends to happen with men, what I see sometimes, and I'm no expert on the man, right, is that women do a really good job at being social, right? We keep in contact with people. We won't talk to a friend for 5 years and shoot them a text like, hey, I'm in your city, let's connect. Oftentimes men don't do that. Right. And so now they've isolated themselves from their social circle. They don't have anyone they talk to, and they're just this responsible person, taking care of either themselves, their family, their wife, extended family members. And so it is important for men to have a space, right, even if it's not a therapy space, a space where they can stay connected to other men, other people.
That I totally agree with. And I kind of see the difference with men who do have like an outlet or a space where they're able to talk and get some things off the chest than with the guy, you know, who's kind of stuck in that loop, his work, his home, his kids, and is do it all again tomorrow. And they don't have that opportunity, or they don't have that chance, you know, for that outlet or that space to really express themselves.
I think it's necessary. I mean, whatever the space is, I mean, therapy is not an easy thing to get into. I think that continuing to have conversations about it, normalizing it in our communities makes it, you know, more likely that men are interested. I've seen a lot of men in it. I see a lot of men now in the work that I do. I talk to young men almost 10 months out of the year, right? My office is always packed, right? But that's a part of it, like normalizing it at an earlier age, right? Like they'll come in my office, talk to me, and then find out later on, like, wait, like, you're an actual therapist? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, wait, were you like working on me just now? I'm like, no, we're just talking through things.
Right. Working on me, right? We all suspect. We're all like so skeptical. Like, why are you asking me that? Why are you asking me a question that I'm gonna say
was
yes
sitting down
to?
on this couch.
Yeah, bro.
Is this what it feels like?
Our community too. We mad skeptical.
Everything is sketchy.
Everything is sus.
It's all
Everything
good.
is sketchy. Yeah. Oh my God. Especially with young people now. Whatever. Right.
Yeah.
They have no problem with accessing the help, though. I will say that with the young people. Like, they have no problem with saying, like, I got a therapist. I'm going to see my therapist. Like, there's been a huge shift. But teenagers, people in their 20s, it is a part of their maintenance. Like, mid-workday, they're like, I have an appointment with my therapist. Yeah, I'm going on that Zoom. I'm going to come back to work. And so I think the conversations around therapy and people, you know, being open to it is shifting. Is it where we would like it to be? Absolutely not, right? Because I think the younger generation is getting it, but then the older generation is still like, I don't need it, right? Like, I don't really see the importance or the value in it. You know,
I'm older generation.
They're still fighting against like how it's.
I was thinking our parents as older generation, bro.
Yeah, this is it.
I'll forget it. Our parents forget it.
Oh yeah, they're not doing that.
They're not even thinking about it.
Yeah, they're like, it didn't work. I went one time, it didn't work. They didn't fix me.
I don't even think they're going.
I don't know about no neurodiversity. Neuro what?
It's just, boy, I don't got no problem.
Neuro straighten you out.
Talk about I need therapy. You need
Ask me
therapy.
about my childhood. My childhood, I'm far removed from my childhood.
Yeah,
I'm straight. I'm
man.
good. You know. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, definitely. The older folks, our parents and grandparents, man, don't mention no therapy to them. They'll tell you need therapy for mentioning that I need therapy. You know, you need help. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Oh, what they're gonna tell me, I don't already know. I got life experience, which is good.
Yeah.
I think a balanced life experience is important, but sometimes we need a little bit of like not pushing it to the side sort of thing. And not everything has to be talked about. I think sometimes when people think about therapy, they think about they have to like catch the therapist up to speed. Like, you need to walk me from when you were a child, a teenager, to an adult, to now. And it's just like, we can start here. Like, where are you today? Yeah. Right? You know, we don't have to do the whole timeline thing, right? We can start from where you are today and start to think about, like, how maybe those past experiences are showing up for you now. How are they no longer working for you now, right? It doesn't have to be this whole rundown, but I think sometimes that is intimidating for people They think about having to like talk about every single thing that they experience in order to like start a session. It's just like, no, we're starting today.
I like that. Low key. A barrier to entry, using the business terminology, right? Like, that could be a barrier to entry. But from what you're saying, it's important that our audience understands is that come as you are, right? There's not like, it's about, and a good counselor or a good therapist will get you how you are. They're not going to try to have you fit into some kind of structure or system. They're going to kind of like ideally flow with you, so to speak. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what makes the word collaborative, right? Not feeling like you have to have it all figured out. Just come who you are. Like, it's going to flow. I'm not expecting you to come and spill the beans, right? You don't know me. The relationship is about building. It's trust, right? Like, I'm a complete stranger, a licensed stranger, but still a stranger. And so, yeah, we'll ease into all those things, right? But I think that is a major barrier when people don't understand, what's going to happen. It's the unknown, right? It's a lot of fear and things that we don't know, things we haven't experienced, or we had an experience that wasn't great. And so now it leaves a bad taste. And so now I'm real skeptical on coming back into therapy, based on an experience that either I had personally or someone I know had.
So many different angles. Every time I feel like you're going to be on the show again too. So because there's so many things to dive into. I think from a first principle standpoint or understanding, right? Like you mentioned mentorship and outlet therapy. What's good, and especially for our young people, barrier to entry, is that it all seems to fall under or similarities in that. And Don covered it too. Is that it is so critical to be able to speak outside of our mentals, right? Because this mind is so, allegedly most of it is to protect us, but you can get in a bubble and you will justify your own behavior. And I think if we're just taking it as a step, whether therapy or anything, right? No diagnosis, but from what Justin said is reflect, are you taking this, is your behavior making you happy the next day, right? 2 days later, or is your behavior leaving you with some kind of regret, right? And I think from a simplistic standpoint,
yeah. So the mind, the body it protects us, right? When we think about it, and so sometimes we have these behaviors or these things that are protecting us, right? Like someone who may be experiencing anxiety, that is a way that their body is responding, but also trying to protect them from something else, right? And so we develop some healthy and unhealthy ways of protecting ourselves, and so when I'm talking through it with someone or even for myself, it's like, at one point, this behavior may have been working for me, right? When I was in a different season. Right now, it's showing up different, right? Someone who has like anxious behavior, they may be really productive, like in college, right? Like me being anxious allow me to get things done and move and shake and do things, right? Whereas like now in my 40s, doesn't quite work the same, doesn't feel the same, right? And so different seasons will require different things, right? And so what used to protect me before, it no longer works now. It's actually doing the complete opposite, right? And so that's where like, whether it's a therapist or just like tapping in with self comes into place, right? Like understanding like in one season, things were working, right? And so I like to use the term seasons a lot, right? Because just think about the weather. It's summertime. I'm not wearing a winter coat right now. Different seasons require different things. And the same thing goes for life, right? 40s is a different season. This year is a different season. It's going to require a different version of me, different things to keep me going, right? Let me start to think about those things. Let me think about what I already have and see if those things work and then make adjustments, right? Maybe they don't serve me now. How can I replace them? Same thing goes for the mind, right? We have all these thoughts, all these ideas. Some of them I could put on pause for now.
That's our brain right there, the ADHD brain that I feel like all of us have some type of form of ADHD.
Yeah, definitely.
The neural diverse brain.
Oh yeah. That's something I'm extremely passionate about. I mean, that's something too where you need like mental health frameworks, right? And not to deep dive, but even something like ADHD, being hypersensitive to our environment can be great, and at the same time,
if we don't know how to turn it off, like you said, or if we don't know how to choose when to use it, then it could make us distracted. It could make it think that like two people's grill faces that have zero to do with us, and they're in their own minds, but all of a sudden we're analyzing all that, like, oh snap, oh, did I upset somebody? Somebody's mad at me, right? Like
Taking it on, like making it yours. Not everything belongs to you. We consume so
wait, say
much.
that one more time. So break
Taking
that
it
down.
on, like not everything belongs to you, right? And so we have a responsibility to ourselves to decide what we're going to take on, right? Not everything is our responsibility, right? Some of it we choose to take on based on what's important to us, our values, right? Thinking we are capable of doing it, but take it off. It's not yours. There are things that we can potentially have influence over that don't require us to do the thing, right? And so there's my responsibility, which I am the only one who can do this thing. It's probably not a lot, but we tell ourselves that it's only I can do this. And there are things that like I could just have influence over, right? And this is how you begin to kind of like dissect your thoughts, right? Take some of that stuff off your plate, right? Especially when you are a person who shows up for others, right? Or a peer that you have it together, to Justin's point, right? The man, right? People tend to give you more. Take it, do it. And now you make it your responsibility, and eventually it becomes too much for you, however it comes out, right? It doesn't have to always come out in anger or something that someone else's experience, but then your health gets impacted. And you're asking like, I work out, I do this, I do that. Yeah, but you're bearing a lot inside. It doesn't necessarily show outward. Like people may not always see it, right? But the body feels it.
But I feel like one of the ways it comes out, like you said, it comes out which health wise, like, oh my goodness, why am I so much, my chest, my heart feels so heavy, but I think another way it comes out is spending.
Yeah,
I don't know, and that's
back to the financial. Word up.
and that's a whole nother episode.
I know.
That's a whole nother episode. But
As we're on our few minutes.
people will just spend instead of addressing certain issues that they have, and they don't even realize it. So I mean, when we have you back, we're definitely going to talk about the mental aspect of the financial literacy. Because
Mindset,
there's
for
definitely
sure.
a big mental component to it.
It's mindset.
But here at Justified Riches, we like to play a little game. I think we have a little time left.
Yeah. Take it. Take it.
We got background music today, Jody, or no? No background music? All right.
No copyright.
Do not own the rights.
So we're going to play a game called Healing or Hurting.
Okay.
All right? So I'm going to give you a scenario, and you can tell me if it's healing or hurting. You can tell me, too, whether you feel it's healing or hurting. All right. So here's one. You're stressed, so you scroll media for hours.
It's hurting.
Hurting?
Definitely.
Yeah, hurting. And even physically, literally, because most of the time we're looking down at our phone, and I notice my neck is mad strained if I'm like scrolling too much.
Straining the eyes.
Not just mentally hurting, you're physically hurting.
physically too.
All right, and I guess two is me. You keep everything bottled up because you're strong.
You're
Healing
definitely hurting.
or hurting?
Hurting. It always comes out somewhere. I've learned the hard way. It's like physics. It always got to come out somewhere.
Gotta come out someplace.
It always comes out.
Right. 3, you invest in therapy instead of buying designer clothes.
Come on, that's healing all the way. You're on the road to
Fire.
recovery.
Listen, them Goyard bags are hot now.
Wellness for the win. All those bags, I know,
Oh,
right?
no.
I know.
Could be healing, I guess.
I don't know. All right. 4, you avoid conversations that make you uncomfortable. Tough one.
As a people pleaser, recovering people pleaser, man, I've paid.
Recovering? You still recovering, or you're
It's almost like a traffic ticket, right? You get the traffic ticket for $60. You're like, you forget about it, or you're like, oh, you don't want to pay it right now. Then like 6 months later, it's like $250, $300, and you're like, good gracious, and right, like delaying conversations.
Yeah, right? Like late fees and stuff. I'm in between with that one, right? I think that it's based on your comfort. And so hopefully you get comfortable enough to do it. But I'm in between on that one. Yeah.
healing and hurting.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that one. Yep.
Well, what you said about the parking tickets, that's like my kryptonite. Like if I get like a piece of mail, like I don't know if I mentioned this before, like I can't open up anything like that comes from the Department of Traffic. It's trauma for me. Like every time I know it's nothing good when I open this up.
I know.
There's no good news in this.
Sounds like avoidance.
It's definitely avoidance. It's definitely avoidance.
Diagnosis, just saying.
Somebody, my wife has to open it up. My daughter has to open. Somebody has to open this up. I can't open it up, and they have to deal with it too. I can't pay it.
I physically can't do
I can't do it.
Yeah, know thyself. Shout out to knowing yourself.
and know how to ask for help. Look at that.
Yeah,
And support
I know.
system.
Yeah, that's my listen. I know I have issues with that. I'm deficient when it comes to opening up Department of Traffic mail.
I'm there too, bro. It's called ostrich in our financial education class. That's called ostrich.
All right,
I've been there too.
We're down to our last one. You talk to your friends, but never a professional.
I think that could be healing, right? I think it's situational. Yeah, I think it's situational. For sure.
I definitely agree with that.
I agree with that.
Like if they're good friends, supportive, they have a good ear, not the friend that's telling you, shut up, you can handle it, what you're crying about.
Or not the friend that's giving opinion, imposing their opinions on you. So yeah, I think it's healing for sure. Yeah.
I like that. I like both of y'all calm vibes. I realized I was talking mad loud. Y'all talking like
This is you didn't know, Rich. You're in an actual therapy session.
It's happening right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for playing. We don't got no outro. We don't got no outro music, but
where two things as we're wrapping up. Where can people find you? And this is your time. Why are you different a little bit? Like, what is traditional, what people might experience? And why have you found, from your experience that your approach is slightly different?
Yeah, I think I am different. What has made me different and what clients have said makes them feel more connected to me is that it feels real, right? It's not clinical. It's not question 1, 2, 3. It's kind of like, hey, what's up? How you doing today? Where you at today? What's different for you? What brought you here? What brought you into this space? I think it is comforting for people to see someone who not only looks like them, but sounds like them, can talk about the communities that they have lived in and not oversharing, never, but kind of like, hey, I know that neighborhood, right? People feel like, oh, okay, you used to. They feel more connected. And so I think for me, that's one of the things that I pride myself on is just being myself, true, authentic self. I don't need to change who I am in a clinical setting, right? I think who I am attracts people to me. Right? It attracts my clients to continue to do the work, my students to continue to knock down my door and really trust me. Trust that what they're saying to me is here, right? This is where it is, and I'm never judging. You mess up today, tomorrow's a new day. And it's the same thing I tell my clients. Today is a new day to do it over. If you mess up again, it's all good. It's all good. No worries. And to answer your second question,
yes.
I'm not a big social media person, but I do have an Instagram. It's Living in Color Services, color with a U, so COLOUR. And then I have a website, which is also livingincolorservices.com. So again, the word color is COLOUR, so the British way, color.
Oh.
Makes it a little different.
British.
Gotta learn the accent.
Oh man, thank you so much. Again, would love to have you back on to talk more. And as we're signing off to everybody, mental health and financial health are so correlated. One will overtake the other sometimes, or one will try to overcompensate for the other, in so many different ways. So please. This public service announcement, reach out to someone, right? If you're in a deep, or I will let you. What is the mental health public service announcement as we're ending?
Yeah, so if you ever find yourself stuck or dealing with any sort of transition, reach out, ask for help, right? Make a phone call, interview your therapist, get those free consultations in. Most of them are free. Go on Psychology Today, go on Headway, go on ZocDoc, find someone that you like,
Yep. Don't take our word for it. Take the licensed specialist word for it.
Yes. Excellent. We try to end everyone with just, a customary professional hug over here as our guests, because we're community based over here. So,
both for having me.
thank
Finally
you.
made
That's
it
a wrap.
here.